Good evening, everyone. It's Tom Sydney Bushnell, aka Numbers, here from the Tom Numbers Show. I've got my other channel, Site Club, and also my new one on Locals News with Tom Numbers. So I've got a wonderful guest with me, Mr. Ian Welch. Ian, how are you, buddy?
I am absolutely amazing, as always.
Excellent.
Yeah, people that have been following me will understand why, because of all the healing that we do and all the magic that I'm sharing and all the incredible gifts that I have, which I immediately share with humanity as best I can. So yeah, awesome. And how are you?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. We were going to do, people would have tuned in. You know what? I'm going to turn this light off over here. But people would have tuned in. We'd set it up so we were going to do a YouTube live. And as with many things, you get the little gremlins having a little go, having a little pop, and they managed to do that. But anyway, so this will go as a premiere. So this will be a premiere for everyone, and which will be just as good.
Of course it will.
So here we are. So, buddy, yes, and we've got an announcement. So I'm very pleased to announce that you and your dear wife Sue will be attending the Tom Numbers Show live in Bournemouth on May 29th, Monday, bank holiday here in the UK. And you'll be bringing along your rods. So
yeah, dowsing rods. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I know it's very popular. People want to get their own. So you'll be, people that come to the event will have an opportunity to meet Ian and get rods if they want, you know. So
well, we'll be running a workshop with Mark as soon as he's not too busy, and then we'll be running a workshop where I can teach people how to use the dowsing rods, because they're such an amazing tool, not just for questions and answers, but helping to retune you back to Mother Earth's natural energy flow. And that's what it does. They don't just answer questions and find ley lines and water lines. They will actually recalibrate and retune you back to natural energy fields from the earth. That's what they do as well.
Fantastic. I was looking at the energy lines today, and I don't know how, we'll have a look at it. I'm not sure how far Bournemouth is from a ley line or an energy line, but it's a magical place. And the link will be below, so you can get your ticket. It's priced at the same price for the Manchester event that Mark did. So a lot of people saw us there, and you'll be able to meet myself. I'll be hosting it, interviewing people, and Ian is the first confirmed guest. I have others in the pipeline, but as soon as they're confirmed, I can announce it. But I can announce officially that Ian's on the show. So I was looking at the ley lines. Before we get into the stuff you've got for us today, Ian, I was looking at the ley lines, and it's good that we're talking about it today, because something drew me to it today. So is it Saint Michel? Is it Saint Michel, the rock in France?
I've heard yes.
Line with the Cornish one, and then the Scarlet Michael in Ireland.
Yeah.
And they all kind of, I didn't check the Irish one, but it seems to tip where it is. And it looks like they literally are on a line. And then even you go further into France, you've got Lyon, which is Lyon. So that's a line. And then it kind of comes out of the Med, and it kind of skates along past Rome. And then it hits eventually down to kind of Cairo. And I was like, maybe there's something to this. Maybe they're all on a line, you know, like St. Michael's ley line, perhaps, you know?
Yeah, it's St. Michael's Mount is where it passes through in Cornwall. And these St. Michael's Mount travels the entire planet in a big circle. And so does the Mary line. But there are infinite ley lines around people's properties and homes. I mean, our farm, for example, here, we've got a very, very powerful energy site on the land, and there's got to be 30, 40 or even 50 ley lines that are passing through one section of our land, and they all link to the rest of the world. And these are information highways for power from Mother Earth to us. So it's the same as the ley lines that we have on our body. They're called the meridian lines, because I'm a shiatsu practitioner and have been for quite some years. So we use the same meridian lines as the acupuncturists use. So these meridian lines, they surround your body, they pass through the organs of your body and back out on the surface of your skin again. So it's the same with Mother Earth. So she has ley lines that go on the surface of her body and then will eventually pass through into the center of the earth and back out again on the surface of the planet. So we are no different to Mother Earth, and she's no different to us. We are unique as one species. with that in mind.
Very good. And ley lines, it's Ley, isn't it? Ley, is that it? Is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Leytonstone or Leighton in London, because years ago I lived there for a little while. But so that's so interesting, because Leighton, well, ley line is 82, which is soldier, which is rainbow. You got the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But so if you do Michael, ley line, yeah, 82. Oh, ley lines, that's it. Michael ley lines. Michael ley lines is 101, which is immortal, which is Melchizedek, and then Michael is 51. So if you do, there's probably many ways to call it. If you do Michael ley lines, that's 152, which is Bournemouth, which is what we're talking about.
Brilliant.
So there you go. And then you're going to like this one. So you're full. Well, the parts of your name that I know, I've got here we go. So I've got Ian Welch. So Ian Welch is 75, which is magic wand, and you've got the rods. But Welch, WELCH, comes to 51, which comes to Michael.
Love it.
So it's like,
the Michael line actually passes through our farm.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that, but that doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise me at all. And Michael line, so line is 40. Michael line is 51, and 51 comes to here we go. Where is it? I did this earlier. There you go. So dowsing is another way. Dowsing. Well, do you call it divining rods or dowsing rods?
Dowsing rods.
Dowsing rods. So dowsing is 91, which comes to Michael line.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it. I love the way that everything just links together, and this is why what I teach is about the universe is within us and around us. We are it. There's no separation at all, and when we're aware of that, we can actually draw more love and empowerment towards us, knowing that we have that connection to the universe and God within us.
Yeah, definitely. And that's it. It's like, so Welsh is 51, Michael, and Layla. What did I say? So dowsing is 91, which is Michael line. Yeah. So there you go. There's something to it for sure.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. So when people start to get hold of the dowsing rods, I've been making these rods, and they're stainless steel tubes with a bright steel bar, which works very, very well with the magnetic energy field of the land.
Yes.
And we're selling these for people all around the world. And so Sue has been diligently sending packages and parcels all over the planet for people that want to have dowsing rods.
Amazing. And you'll be bringing a bunch with you to the
we will indeed. Yes, we will. Looks like Sue's going to join us.
Fantastic. Hey Sue, how are you?
Very well.
Have you did you hear all that? Did you hear that?
I've been trying to find you on here. Of course, you're not on there.
No, because it's being recorded, and then because we couldn't do it.
I put a little note on the little bit that did go up, but it's a messy video, and I just said sorry, technical issues, but it will come up as a premiere later. But I don't know if you heard that, Sue, but I was just saying to Ian that dowsing, it comes to 91 in numbers. So A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, which comes to Michael line, and he was telling me that the Michael line goes through your farm.
Very close to our house, yes.
And also, what was the other one I just did for you?
You've done dowsing.
Oh, yeah.
You've done my name.
That was it. Welsh is 51, which is also Michael. So you've got the Michael line, and we're that's how we started off the show. So Amazing.
But you'll find this interesting, right? Now, I've taught Sue how to do dowsing because I've been doing it for a very, very long time. And Sue and I, we went to school together. We were in the same class for 5 years in secondary school. And then we didn't see each other for about 35 years. And then we met, fell in love and got married. So I've been teaching Sue all of my skills and abilities, and she's as capable as me. And so her dowsing is absolutely extraordinary as well. So between us, we do a lot of questions and answers with the dowsing rods. And so if we get someone that asks a question, if we are in any way emotionally connected to the answer, then we will do a blind question with the rods. So we will say, right, I will say to Sue, right, I have the question in my mind. I turn my back and I say, right, go. And then she'll give me a yes or a no with the rods. And we ask for 3 times. And that is very, very useful for people.
Well, let's get into that. Let's start doing. So, give me some of the names as well, alternate names. So you've got the Michael Ley line, but is it Saint Michael Ley? What are the different phrases, names that can be by?
Most people call it the Michael and Mary line. So you've got Mary, Mother of Jesus.
Yeah,
it's the Mary line. And now if you go to Avebury, now you've got these 2 huge, great stones that are side by side. And the Michael line passes through one of them, and the Mary line parallel like that. The two lines are like this, and you've got one is the Mary, one is the Michael line, and they literally just run parallel together around the earth. Now, what we found really interesting, as I was teaching Sue over the years, we were going to Avebury quite a lot because we lived in Swindon. They switched, and Sue spotted this. Right, I was saying to Sue, right, show me the Michael line. And they'd literally, somehow or other, had switched. So the polarities of feminine and masculine within these lines, with something happening with the earth and humanity, had actually changed over. And I'm not sure many people are aware of this. I mean, this is quite some years ago before we even moved to Cornwall. So this has got to be 8 years ago that we discovered that the Mary and the Michael had switched over.
Wow.
And again, I don't know why that is, only unless it's to do with the positive and negative, and the masculine and feminine that needed to be shifted to help boost one or the other. That's the only thing I can think of.
Let's have a look at. Sorry, Sue. What was that?
No, I just said when he said the polarity, whichever way it's switched, and whichever one needed the help. And I'm going, I wonder which one that was. Feminine side is. So
something's come to me that I'm thinking about this. So also when you just said Michael Mary line, Michael's 51, which is Welsh. Mary is 57, which is Tesla, which is England, and line is 40. So if you do Michael Mary line, that actually comes to 148, which is simple gematria, which is the number system that I use. So Donald J. Trump, 148, time traveler, 148, if you spell it the American way. So I've got a thought on this. So Michael Ley line is 133, which comes to simulation. Michael Ley lines with the S comes to 152, which is Bournemouth. But I've got a question. Let's see what the rods. So
don't ask it out loud, all right? And then Sue and I will do it together. So have the question in your mind.
Okay, I've got the question in my mind. Yeah.
You have now, yeah? All right.
Yeah.
We both got very strong yeses.
Okay.
Yeah, very strong yeses. All right, that's 3.
Okay.
All right. So if you watch, I let go of my rods and they immediately punch open. I have to hold them with my thumbs. They're so strong with the energy coming from your question. Yeah, they've gone to a yes. And Sue got a yes as well.
So I like that. So you're doing it as a blind question because I like that.
So you don't interfere with it. We don't interfere with it. The universe knows, and our spiritual body and the essence of the earth knows the answer to the question. Even sometimes then we have to be very, very diligent regarding certain questions because we want them to be a yes or we want them to be a no.
Yeah.
And that can be a very, very powerful influence upon the answer on the rods.
Okay. So shall I reveal what my question was?
Yes.
Okay. So we're talking about the Michael Ley line, 133. And I said that comes to the word simulation. And you said that there are many ley lines around the earth. And I've been thinking for a while and quite in detail over the last few weeks and months about the possibility that we are in a simulation, a matrix, something like that. And when you said about there's ley lines all over the place, I instantly thought, I wonder if that's the kind of grid framework that actually helps prop up the simulation. And so Michael ley line 133 simulation, and that was my question. You're like, no, stop, we're going to do the blind one. And then off you went, and you got both really powerful 2 yeses. So I was like, okay. So it seems like the energetic simulation, the framework of it is along those ley lines, that network, that grid line.
Shall I expand upon that a bit more?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Now, this is on my Telegram channel that I shared probably about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and somebody had actually taken a photograph of the sky and changed the color filter, and you could actually see like a printed computer sheet within the clouds. Right, this is genuine, absolutely genuine. And it's
so what, like kind of dots and just like
not just dots, these are lines. Imagine you're looking at a printed computer sheet, right, with all the lines going everywhere in different forms and shapes and whatever. And if so it's on my Telegram channel. You'd have to scroll up quite a way.
So you got a picture of it, have you? You got a picture of?
Yeah, only from what somebody shared on YouTube, and it was taken down quite quickly, but I managed to grab it and share it on my Telegram channel. Now, with that in mind, so basically the reason why we don't see this in the clouds is because it freaks us out, and we wouldn't be able to see the beauty of the clouds and sunsets, etc., etc. It would just be full of all these lines. So with that in mind, if we go then to the earth, because as above, so below, then we've got the line, which the earth, which is traversed with thousands and tens of thousands of ley lines and water lines. I believe that this is linking with what's happening in the sky, which then expands and links within our galaxy, and then expands even more and links within our whole universe, because everything is connected and is working with how we react. And this is why I was saying about timelines with people. Don't ever focus on a timeline that is that's not positive or not full of love, because you will change that matrix. You will change those lines. You will connect to the power of the lines in the sky. You'll connect to the power of the lines on the earth, which then connects to everything else within our system. And then you will change that. So I don't like giving dates with magical things that are coming, and they are. So I just say, look, just have faith, have trust, and they are coming big time. So yeah, this is just like little tasters of nuggets of truth and information, what's actually there that we cannot see with our physical eyes, but they are there with the right apparatus, and changing the filter on some of these photographs and seeing these extraordinary things in the sky. I took a photograph of from our farm about 3 years ago, and I thought it was some kind of strange spaceship in the clouds, but now when I saw this other cloud formation, it's the same design and pattern hiding within this cloud, and I actually caught it with my camera. So what I'll have to do is try and find that, and I'll share that with you directly. All right, that particular video.
I'd love that. Yeah,
it's extraordinary. Awesome. It's actually very freaky. When you look at it, you think, oh my God, we actually are in a bloody matrix. You know, it's the evidence is so strong and so clear, you cannot dispute it at all.
Yeah. It's incredible, isn't it? All these years,
it's all coming out now.
I know.
Vibrational frequencies and harmonics and hertz, and how everything is changed just through a simple sound or light frequency, which is what I'm teaching in my own classes that I'm doing with Mark, the courses, teaching them how to work with sound vibrations and with the voice and pine cone energy and everything else that I'm teaching. It's all about natural earth energies.
Wow.
Sue's asking this. Ask the number for Carwinan Farm. CARWYNN.
Oh, I did this a while ago, actually.
You did, yes. And it was actually quite extraordinary. And because you'd say it out of the phone, I hadn't recorded it.
Yeah, let me have a look. I'm just doing the pine cone energy as well. So PINE. That's 44 pine, and then cone CONE. So that's 37, 44 pine cone energy. Pinecone energy is 155, which is the millennium, so the 1,000 years of peace.
Have I got something to share with you? Do you know, I can't believe that this is happening. You know, this is perfect timing, and you know, this is why you've been kept away from us getting together, because I truly believe that the evidence is so overwhelming if you know where to look and with the right connections. And with what you're sharing now, with the information and knowledge that I already have, it's like confirmation, and I'm just getting all goosebumps, like, wow, this is amazing. And you're talking about 1,000 years of peace, which is about, we're about to step into that as well.
Yes.
Very, very soon, because we've hit the 5D frequency. Humanity is almost in. So if you look at the rods, and see if you do yours as well. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to ask physically, in the percentage of humanity on the planet, obviously, of how many people are actually physically in 5D, right, on the human race. I'll do it in my mind, right?
I'm keeping my eyes closed, so you done yours, and I'll ask.
Right, you go next.
Sorry.
Don't poke him. Not right now.
What I've done is asked for the confirmation of what Ian has just asked his rods, and I'm getting very, very big yes.
So that's another good way of doing it. So Sue's not actually asking for the percentage, she's asking if I was accurate. Isn't that good?
Yeah. So what
So
was
I'm
it?
getting 50%. So 50% of humanity physically are already at 5D, which is amazing, because at the beginning of the year when I checked, it was about 1 or 2%.
Really?
All right.
So what does that mean when you say physically they're at 5Ds? Does that mean
right,
their aura is ready? Because I don't know if this
not
is
so much their aura, right?
5D yet, you know.
Remember, we've got 4 bodies, right? Mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So basically what's happened is that the physical aspect of the planet is at 5D. We've jumped from 3D to 4D to 5D, and we have actually helped nurture that, humanity has collectively, to come in line with the frequencies of the ley lines of Mother Earth, these lines in the sky, and coming in harmony with what's happening within our galactic system, our own neighborhood. All of this is happening because of what you are doing, what I'm doing, what other gifted people around the world are assisting humanity in awakening up to a certain harmonic. So basically, as you raise your awareness of love, of life, of your own individual power, you are connecting to the 5D frequency, which we are now in. So basically, if you imagine that you're swimming around in a swimming pool before, and the swimming pool was at 5D, but you're at 3 or 4, you would have felt that very, very uncomfortable. It would have been too hot. You'd have got out of it, and then you'd have come back into it and got started to get used to it, and eventually, oh, it's nice now, which then would increase that frequency and harmonics of the collective of humanity to all then come up to 5D. Now, when that happens, when the whole planet, when the whole of humanity jumps to 5D, then that's going to change everything. Now, when I started, it was about the golden age. I was bringing people into the harmonics of the golden age, which then created a vessel collectively to fill up with 5D frequencies. Now what's happening is we're filling up the vessel of 5D completely, which will probably be by the end of the year, fingers crossed. Then we will be able to fill the vessel of 5D, which is humanity, with the Christ frequency. All right, where we are heading, I've not shared this with anybody yet, even Mark, right? Where we are heading is the Christ frequency. Christ is not a person, right? Christ is an energetic, harmonic frequency of love, right? Our galactic neighbors that live in our system, 22 planets that are within our system, they are already in tune and in harmony with the Christ essence, the Christ frequency, and they're vibrating at 7D physically. Spiritually, right? Let's see where you are, Tom, right? Let's see where you are personally, physically, right? In percentage, up to 5D, 80, 90, 95, 98. You're 100% 5D. All right.
Am I?
Yeah. So let's go to spiritually. Let's see where you are on your dimensions.
That's physically.
That's physically.
Cool.
That's physically. Right. Now let's see if you've tapped into 60 yet. Because the next step, once we've become in tune with 5D, which could take some years, then the next frequency, obviously, it would be 60 physically. All right. Now, some people are already tapping into 60 at 1% or 2%. Let's see where you are. 60 percentage, 1%. Whoa, 2%, 3. I'm getting 2%. So you're already, your physical harmonics are already tapping into 60 at 2%. Because you've created a foundation work of 5D for 6D to build upon. Now, spiritually, let's have a look where you are spiritually on these. All right. So let's you're going to be way above 6. So let's go 7. I have to move my glass of water. Keeps my rods keep bashing.
Watch the water, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. 8, 10, 15. Ooh, 16. 17. 20, 26,
30.
30. Keep going. I'm going to let Sue do this one.
35. 36. Running down 37. 40. 38.
So you personally, spiritually,
40.
your spiritual body is resonating nearly 40 dimension, 40D, not 5, not 6, 40.
40.
Right, now I'm going to explain this, why that is the case. See, what happens is we develop and evolve.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, we
That comes to 88, Trump.
Oh, there you go, you see. We develop spiritually first. That's you, me, Sue, everybody on this planet. Where we develop first is spiritually.
Okay.
Then what happens is that spiritual essence of you will then pull your physical body, your mental and emotional, towards that direction. You need a momentum of light to pull your body towards those frequencies, those harmonics, because it's your spiritual body that holds you into physical form. It's like a diva, it's like your overriding blueprint, your higher self blueprint. That is what is holding you and every individual on this planet, including animals and insects. That divic energy field, it hovers. I can see them, right? When I look at something, I see like a spiritual mist hovering over everything. And that is a blueprint program in spiritual form that holds everything into physical form. So we, as human beings, have this, people call it a higher self or a guardian angel. We have that hovering above us. And that holds the blueprint programs of who you are, who you've ever been, and who you are always going to be. Right? Past, present, and future on this timeline is held within your blueprint divic self, higher self of you. So now that you know that you're aware that your blueprint divic self is pulling you at 40D, nearly 40D, towards a greater, higher development of yourself.
Wow. It's interesting you said about the physical, because I haven't felt too bad this week, but a week or two ago, maybe for a couple of weeks, it was quite heavy, quite just, it was a bit messy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But this week has been a lot easier, and I feel a lot better. I mean, I don't feel perfect physically, but I feel way better than I did about a week or two ago. I was quite choppy.
Everyone's going through an upgrade, everybody. Mark was hit so bad he couldn't walk for a week. Right?
Yeah, he was. Mine happened just a few days before Mark's, and then Mark got his.
Yeah, I got hit so hard I couldn't even get out of bed. I was in screaming agony with my back, and literally it happened. I didn't lift anything, I didn't pull anything. It was just a massive upgrade in the base chakra. And then that light, that strong light that comes in, vibrates the atomic light structure within your physical body to the point where it becomes painful, because then your physical body has to catch up with your light body. So that's what's happening. So when people get this sudden boom pain, they shouldn't be running off to the doctors and hospitals if they can. That's because that's going to harm their light frequency growth. You know, obviously, if it's something, it's an ongoing thing, yeah, continue going to see your doctor. But if you literally wake up and it's like boom, and it's there, your throat or your knees or your arms or something, you think, oh, what's going on there? So then you know that it's an upgrade in your light body, and this is coming from the suns. Right? We know that thing. Yes, not that thing in the sky, because that's not our sun, right? That's a holographic
What is that? Just the light
image.
source? Is that just an artificial
the light source that came? So let's rewind. About 2.5 to 3 years ago, a gigantic sphere came over the Earth, right? And you can see this because it was videoed next to the sun, right? A massive sphere was videoed next to the sun, about 65 times bigger than the Earth, and it was pulling plasma streams from the Earth into its body. So I asked, what's going on, right? And I was told that this sphere was coming in towards Earth to protect us. So what happened was the sphere opened, encapsulated the Earth, and then all the holographic images of the sun, the stars, that moon in the sky, all of those recreated what we are used to seeing. But everyone is saying that that's too bright, it's too white, it's not our sun, and it's getting brighter. And it's because it's not our sun. So what I was shown 20 years ago in a vision, that our sun gave birth to a new sun. So our sun is liquid, metallic hydrogen, right? That's scientific fact, right? Liquid, metallic hydrogen. It's not gas, it's not flames, it never has been. It is a gigantic plasma liquid ball. And the way that the new sun was born, how a cell divides. So a cell, when you look at a cell, when the sperm hits the egg, it literally just goes bloop into two. How the heck did that happen? All right. So that's how the new sun was born. And it was born backwards. Then the sphere came in, and then the new sun moved into its new position. The reason for the sphere is that a brand new sun, and we're quite close to the sun compared to the other planets, would have pulled us out of shape and would have destroyed the Earth and Mars. So one was seen, there was two spheres was actually videoed by NASA. One was for Mars and one was for Earth. Right, and these are created by an intelligent species designed for protection of planets when a new star is about to be born. So that new sun, our new star, creating a binary system, is now in place, and it's been there for about 7 or 8 months. So what's happening now is that the light source in the sky, the hologram, is recreating the essence and power and light of two suns. And that's why it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter and more potent in its energy. It's so that humanity in its 5D form and the Earth is now, this is all coming together with the two suns, 5D, two suns, and then the sphere will be removed, and then we will have two suns in the sky for the rest of a very, very, very long time, millions and millions of years. And
so can we focus in and see this new sun as well? Sometimes you talked about this big thing, and then the hologram. Yeah. Could we go out and find it now?
Yes, you'd be able to see it if you're able to do psychic traveling, or what they call spiritual traveling or astral traveling. I wouldn't call it that because I wouldn't go to the astral world. No way, it's not a good place. But if you're able to do remote viewing, you would see two suns. But we're seeing that in videos and photographs around the Earth, around the planet in the last 20 years. People have been photographing and videoing twin suns in the sky, and even recently. All right, and this is what we call a harmonic resonance. What the universe is trying to do to soften the blow for humanity is to show us where the new sun will be. All right, it's our galactic neighbors are aware that it's already there and that the sphere is keeping us safe, and it's all about dispersing fear. Right, we've got to come away from fear. We're coming to love. So we're going to wake up one morning and there will be two suns rising. or two suns setting, and that will be it for the rest of our lives and our children's lives, and so on and so on. But it's all about creating harmony and peace and tranquility. And we know about the darkness that's left on the earth regarding humanity. They would have linked into that story, blown it out of proportion, and everyone would go running around shooting themselves because they'd be so terrified. A bit like the War of the Worlds type thing. So that is why the sphere is here. And I've been researching this and following this for 20 years, making sure that I'm teaching in a correct way on the timeline that we're on. And the evidence is overwhelming.
Wow. Harmonic resonance is, I did this ages ago, but I'd forgotten it. Reso, N-A-N-C. Yeah, harmonic resonance is 175 consciousness, which is also Diana Frances Spencer. I think we might have seen her at the coronation last week. But also, Diana Frances Spencer, or I consciousness, is 184, which is the fifth dimension, and we were talking about that earlier. And it's like, so why, if half the Earth are physically in the fifth dimension, it would make sense that she's making physical appearances again.
Yep. Yeah, it's all about timing, and this is why our galactic neighbors have not shown themselves as yet in their, landing in their spaceships and coming out and shaking our hands. They are waiting for humanity to do as much as possible for themselves. This is all about self-empowering. We don't need a savior. We are the savior. Our light and our love is the savior. If we give our power away to a specific person, then what have we done? What have we achieved? Nothing. We are just giving everything away to somebody else, and that is not the way that God works. We are here to evolve into the most incredible royal blue-blooded human being that there has ever been in this particular galaxy. We have 22 strands of DNA within our bloodstream, and each one of those strands comes from a planet within our system. Now, I was shown 36 planets in our system, not 9 that we're being led to believe. There's 36 in our system. 22 of them have life on them, way more advanced than we are. And each one of those beings has had a lifetime on this planet in the last few million years and have interbred with humanity. And this was designed specifically to create a hybrid of the most extraordinary kind. We are royalty. Right, you can check this out, but we are royalty, and that is where we are heading. The awakening, the ascension is us. It is what we are stepping into with 5D and above to match our galactic neighbors. So I know I sound like I'm rambling, but I'm trying to get as much knowledge as possible over as I can. I dowsed for where our galactic neighbors are in their dimensional physical bodies, 7D.
Huh.
They are at 7D, so they're quite highly evolved. So for them to step on this planet at 4D would be really uncomfortable for them. Stepping onto this planet at 5D is a lot easier for them. So it'd be like us trying to step back into, or going up to, say, an 8D planet. We would not survive. We'd disintegrate. Our light bodies would not be able to cope with that kind of frequency. And that's what it's about. It's about the light frequency.
You said about the, sorry, go on. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's Sue's heard all of this, and it's she's probably going, here we go again. But if you've got any questions for Sue,
notes.
Right? I don't want to take away the thunder, but Sue is so capable. She really is, and she's got a very, very quiet demeanor. And she teaches in a very, very soft, subtle way. So she's amazing for people that need it slowed down. I say again, I'm rambling because I want to try and get as much knowledge over to your particular listeners.
You said about the about them coming down in 5D. It's easier. So I think I've probably met people that are other than just human. I think they come and say hello and things. So anyway, last night I met a lady on the beach, and she had a very distinct characteristic, which I spoke to my brother about this morning, but she had very, very long arms, like very long arms. I should have taken a picture of her actually, but I didn't. We just chatted, chatting away normal. But she had really very long arms.
Right, we're going to see whether she was human or not. All right.
I think she was at least half a hybrid or something. I think she was coming to say hello as a visitor.
I'm getting extraterrestrial without a doubt.
I said, is she human? I got to know.
Yeah, I think she wasn't, because the thing is, she, I don't think she was, because I don't think I've ever seen someone with that. And it was done subtly, it was like you walk along, you wouldn't notice, but then it was like she came over and we're talking, and it's like, oh, they're really. But then when she walked away, I was like, those arms are just extraordinarily long, like extraordinarily long. It was like, but it was done so subtly, and so when you're saying about if we're in the 5D now, at least half of us are, it's easier for them to come and visit. I was like, I think she was somebody else. Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt.
How did she make you feel when you were speaking to her? Was there a special thing, anything special about her, or?
Just pleasant, not really kind of extraordinary. It was maybe slightly cloaked. That might be a word. Maybe slightly cloaked, but it was just a conversation. It was interaction, and I could kind of almost sense as I'm just sitting on the bench, and I could sense she's kind of wanted to talk as she walked past, and was like hello, and then she's hello, and then she comes and sits down, and we're just talking about 5 or 10 minutes. But her actual feature, like the arms, and I even kind of, and she kind of a little protective of it, and just, but it was all done. It just made me think of science fiction films, when you've made that first contact. That's what I was thinking. That's what was going through my head.
Well, for a stranger, a complete stranger, especially a woman, to come and sit next to you, then that's got to be telling you something, isn't it?
Well, I'm a good-looking boy, aren't I? So it happens quite regularly. But you know what I mean. But it's like, it was the arms. That's the thing, because you see that in the films. It's like their arms are quite often really long, and I was like, her arms were almost probably as long as her legs, actually.
Wow. How tall was she then? She
wasn't over. See, that's the thing. She wasn't overly tall. She was a normal height. She was a normal woman's height, quite slender. But her arms were just, and you wouldn't really notice it at first, but then you kind of did. And then I was like, oh, okay, just come home, sat over, and her hands were quite long as well. So her hands were quite long, but the actual length of her arm, particularly when she got up and walked away, I should have taken a picture, but her legs and her arms probably were almost the same length, if not the same length. It was like, wow.
Well, she's going to be.
It was done in a very distinct, subtle way. Like you wouldn't notice. You wouldn't go, "Oh, look, that person's got." But I was like, "Hang on, her arms are really long, really long."
She's going to be from one of our. She's going to be one of our neighbours, without a doubt. She's not.
Yeah.
I mean, people think of extraterrestrials as a long, long, long way away. No, they're not. They're within our system. And there's a blue planet that we're going to see as well. I don't know if it will be shown this year or probably definitely next year. And it's another blue planet, which is very, very close to us. When we will see it in the night sky, and it will be about 3 times the size of Mars, and it will be blue. That's the closest planet to us, and it's twice the size of the Earth. And I've been there. I've actually visited it, and I sat and I spoke with one of the beings that live on there. And they're very, very tall beings, and at least 2,000, 3,000 years more advanced than we are. And they are watching us, and they're very, very excited that we're going to be coming on board with the rest of the family, with our neighbours. That's what they're waiting for. And it's all been beautifully designed and planned so that the human species can work this out for themselves, to get stronger and stronger in that process. They could have easily come and stepped on the planet and took away the reptilians, took away that fake moon. They could have done all of that. No, they were waiting for us to do that. And we've done a really, really good job. And the last few years for everyone's been very, very tough, and we understand that. So we've done extremely well, and they're very, very excited for us.
Wow. What do you see, Sue? What do you see kind of the next few weeks, few months for us? What do you feel?
That's a better word for me, because I don't see so much as feel. I don't see things that Ian sees, like auras, etc., but I feel them. I know when they're around me. I just get a feeling of excitement moving forward. I don't think it's just me. I think the whole planet is going to focus somewhere and go somewhere. And for us all to do it together, it's going to be far more powerful than just one of us trying to truck on our own direction. We're going to move together. We're going to click in.
Yeah.
You know, join in together somehow.
Where we go one, we go all. That's what we need. Everybody, don't we? We need all of us. We're all these Tesla power machines that all need to click together and do the hyper jump into whatever we're going to go into.
I was just thinking, Tom, Ian knows what Colin means. You never actually told me.
Oh, well, let's have a look. So if you spell it out slowly for me, I'll do it. Yeah.
C-A-R.
C-A-R. Yeah.
W-Y.
W-Y. Yeah.
N-N.
N-N.
E-N.
E-N. Ah, 117. So that's well, that's Rushmore. So as in Mount Rushmore, it's I think it's 30th, if I remember rightly, or is it 20th? It's one of those, and it's also Fifth Avenue, so where Trump Tower is. I got an insight on Trump Tower last night. Actually, I was talking to a friend, and she was saying, so we were talking. So Trump Tower is 169, which is the Great Awakening. Robert Zemeckis, the director of Back to the Future, he came out with another. Well, they showed another film of his last night. But if you do, oh, what was it? There was something else with it. Let me think. Tower, Trump Tower, Tower. What is it? There was something else with it. I'd have to look it up. I think it's on. Unless I hang on, I might have sent it to myself on this phone. Bear with me a second. Let me just check. I don't know if I did forward this one. Oh yeah. So Trump Tower is also a quantum portal. That's it. So Trump Tower 169, which is on 117, which is Fifth Avenue, which is part of your. How'd you say the word again? The place. Carwinin. So Carwinin is 117. Rushmore is 117. Trump Fifth Avenue is 117. But at the top of Trump Fifth Avenue, you've got Trump Tower, and that's a quantum portal. I believe that's a quantum portal. That's why he lives there. That's what, you know. Like you said, Ian, you've been to other planets and done other things. I'm sure President Trump is doing that as well. And
yeah, it's funny you should say about. It's funny you should say about quantum portal. Again, it's not really, because it all links. Now, I've got the most incredible photograph that I took of a sunset over the Atlantic Ocean just over a week ago. And when I decided to have a look at it, there was this plasma beam, very clear, right, coming out of the clouds, and it's going straight into the top of this pyramid and the stone that was found on the field in our standing stone field. And we know for a fact that there is some kind of quantum portal energy frequency happening on that land, and you can actually see it so clearly coming out of this cloud in a perfect line, bizarre shapes coming down inside this plasma beam straight into the top of the pyramid. And I posted that on my Telegram channel just over a week ago. Absolutely extraordinary.
Wow.
You can see the ship in the clouds. You can see this square, dark oblong inside the cloud, and then you can see these prongs coming out of the clouds with this plasma beam coming out of them.
It's interesting you said that about quantum portal energy frequency. So if you do quantum portal 169, the Great Awakening, Trump Tower 169, quantum portal, even the energy. So if you do Thomas Bushnell 169, quantum portal, but then energy 74, which is gematria, which is, you know, the number language that I'm using, that comes to 243. 243 is powerful on both sides of the equation. So the dark sides have used it, but also the good ones. So Central Intelligence Agency is 243. Queen Elizabeth II's 243. But on the good side, you've got John F. Kennedy, Eternal Flame, 243. And Sylvester Stallone is 243. And he, last year, it's come back again in prominence in the last week or so, but he did an Instagram post with a lady behind him covering her face with a book. And it said, every last secret, and every last secret comes to 197, which comes to Diana Spencer Trump. And it looks like Diana's got the fingers and everything else. So 243 is a very important number on both sides. But I've got a question about this. And I've been thinking, I've asked people this and they've given thoughts, and I wonder what you think. So in terms of this Central Intelligence Agency, 243, I'm thinking that's totally alien related, because the CIA was set up in 1947, just a few months or weeks after Roswell. So Roswell was in, I think, the summer of 1947. Camilla Parker Bowles was born in 1947 after that, and then the CIA set up. And I actually think Camilla is being played by Diana sometimes. I think it was Diana in a mask. That's my opinion. Because the numbers, so 217 comes to Mission Impossible, which is the whole thing with the masks. Camilla, Queen Consort, is 217. Lady Diana Frances Spencer is 217, and they made a point of Camilla being this glorious figure at the funeral, well, at the coronation. And another thing is, which was strange, is when they're walking out. So Charles is slightly ahead, Camilla's just slightly behind him, and then it's not William behind them. Guess who's next behind them? Tom Parker Bowles, her son. William's quite far back. And that was all shown on TV. That shows you something's not right, you know.
Well, the Grim Reaper walking past the doorway, they're definitely showing you there's something not right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's your question then with regards to this, with regards to the CIA?
So I'm thinking that I feel, to me, it's coming to me that the CIA is something far more advanced. It's not just a bunch of clever men talking and kind of, you know, whispering and being secret just on a 3D level. I think it's a higher intelligence, and probably a nefarious one because of the stuff we've heard that they've been doing. But I think it was alien intelligence that created the Central Intelligence Agency. I think that's what it is.
A negative alien intelligence.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
5, 10, 18. Yeah, I'm getting 100% accuracy on what you think it is. It's a nefarious agency set up by and helped by the reptilians. Oh no, what's happened?
You're still here.
I am. Hold on. Let's get rid of that. I can't see you though. I must have touched the bloody screen. Hold on. How do I get you back? All I've got is a Zoom thing. Let's have a look at that.
If you can just imagine in your mind's eye, Ian, you've got me here.
I can
see you and the recording.
Hold on. Here we go.
Okay.
So what happened is my rods had touched the mouse pad.
Hang on, we're getting into Mark Atwood territory. Your rods have touched the mouse pad.
Yeah, I know. Right, now, I want to go back to what I said earlier, and this leads beautifully onto that, where humanity was lagging behind, and then we came into the golden age. And then from the golden age, we came into the 5D. And I said, once everyone's coming to 5D, then we're going to be tapping into the Christ consciousness frequency. Now,
yes.
I've got a friend. We've got a friend who lives on the farm with us. His name's Dr. Alex Ling. He was interviewed by Mark about 6 or 8 weeks ago. And he and we have been guided by God to produce something for humanity. Can you just do some number on the word Aquan?
Yeah. So A
Q U A
N.
It's called the secret language of water.
Okay, you're going to like this. Okay, so how about this? I know what the answer is. Why don't you do the rods and just say, is Tom's assessment correct?
All right, so I'm going to have my eyes closed as well. That's a big yes. Yes.
Probs at dawn.
Yeah, that is very strong yeses. No idea
Well,
what the question was.
So AQUAN, Aquan, comes to 54, which comes to love.
Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right. So this beautiful, beautiful, we're going to call it supplement. Right. We're not allowed to call it anything else, but it's a supplement. And it's a supplement that we have put together where spirituality meets science. Right. So Dr. Alex Ling has spent 40 years devising the correct amount of ingredients to create something to help humanity. And the ingredients are gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Ah.
All right. And
Yeah.
also CBG.
What's that?
It's similar to CBD, but it's a
more, cannabinoid.
Yeah, it's a more purer supplement for helping and healing. Okay. So basically, we've got that together. Then the knowledge that I have spiritually with pine cones and working with the Love Star and God, etc., have placed these programs into this incredible liquid. The water is magnetized, right, in a big tank, and then it goes to another tank which is fractured. So the water becomes fractured as well as magnetized. Now, fractured water is where the water spins clockwise and anti-clockwise at the same time, which creates the most potent form of water that there can be on the planet. And then this fractured water is able to take on board a program, any program, at a very, very pure, potent level, to the molecular structure level. And so that's what this is happening. So then the ingredients are added to this fractured and magnetized water. Now, when I first took this, Alex and I had a tasting, a glass each, and cheers. Now, this brought God to me. It overshadowed me and then started to speak a sacred language at the ingredients in this tank. And then in English, stated very, very clearly that everybody and anybody who drinks this will automatically, by default, come straight into the Christ consciousness frequency, which is love.
Yeah.
Right. And you've just confirmed that with the numbers. That's just absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, we're going to launch this with Mark next week. All right. And then it will be available for purchase. Now, we can't say too much about it, but let's just say that the feedback and testimonials have been absolutely through the ceiling with regards to taking this supplement. All right. And so, yeah, we're very, very excited to bring this to humanity, for the evolution in towards the Christ consciousness, because that is where we are heading next. And this supplement will bring you into that Christ consciousness frequency, which obviously then creates a good healthy body.
Brilliant. I love it. Thanks, Ian. Thanks, Sue. We'll have to do this again soon. And are you going to bring some of that? Well, you better bring some of that Aquan supplement to Bournemouth with you.
We will.
Oh, yeah.
We will.
Okay, bring it along. I'd be interested to just see that, give it a taste, and I'm sure the attendees will. So how can people find you, Ian?
Well, they can go to my Telegram channel, which is Ian Welch, The Golden Age. I've literally just 2 days ago set up my own YouTube channel, which is the Ian Welch 5D Golden Age show. Okay,
send me the links and we'll put that up and so people can find you. Yeah.
I'll try, but I'm not very, very good with computers. I have to have somebody help me set up the.
We'll figure it out. We'll
figure it out definitely. And what I'm going to be doing is doing once a week questions and answers on this channel, because people need help and assistance and understanding of what's actually happening. And I will always teach with love, no fear at all, no separation or segregation, pure love. And that's what I've been always doing all my life. So I always stick with the best timeline possible. And remember that we can change those timelines purely by being in love or by being in fear. So I teach with love and to keep away from fear, and then we create the most incredible timeline for everybody.
I will say that having known Ian since we were 11 years old, he's the same. He's exactly the same.
Brilliant.
But the same.
Yeah, a lot less hair now. Yeah, a lot less hair.
Thank you.
And also, I published a book about 8 years ago, which is called Empowering the Atomic Body. You like that one? Empowering the Atomic Body, the universe within. And that teaches people how to work with the atoms within their body, and explaining in more depth about the chakras, etc. And also about the twin suns.
Ian and Sue, it's been a pleasure. I'm really glad we've done this today, and I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. If you want if you want to get tickets and come along to the Tom Number Show live, and come and meet Ian and Sue and hear what we'll do live on stage, then it will all be there for you. And just in closing, you say you teach with pure love. So pure is 60. The pure is 93 Bushnell. So I'm quite happy with that one. And but you teach with pure love. Love is 54. So pure 60 plus love 54 comes to 114. And 114 comes to trump card, but it also comes to frequency. So you teach with pure love. You teach with frequency 114. So there you go.
Brilliant. And I love that man, by the way, Trump. I'm a Trump, supporter, big time.
I do as well. I love Trump. So
yeah, we'd be lost without him.
We would.
Well, lots of love to you and all your listeners, and yeah, definitely look forward to seeing everybody. We both do in Bournemouth. That's going to be great, absolutely great.
Bank holiday Monday. Look forward to it. Thanks,
all
guys.
Right,
thanks, Sue.
Bye.
Thanks, Ian. Take care. Bye.